The foldable phone category was brought into the mainstream by Samsung, and while we have seen plenty of competition over the years, it's the Galaxy Z Fold series that has consistently remained the gold standard. And this year, Samsung faces yet another serious competition in the form of the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. In this video, we'll find out which of these foldables truly deserve your hard-earned money. Hello everyone, I'm Aniya for Digit, and this is the battery drain test comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and the Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold. Let's get started. On your screens are the prices of both smartphones. While the Pixel 10 Pro Fold comes in a single 16GB RAM plus 256GB storage, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is available in a variety of RAM and storage options. Also, the key specifications of both the phones before I go ahead, you can pause and take a look. As always, we start with booting both devices, and the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is the one to boot up slightly faster. Now, both phones are connected to the same Wi-Fi network. They are charged to 100%. Sound is set at 50%, and the display, both inner and outer ones, are tuned manually to around 510 nits using a lux meter. Alright, we get going with 2 hours of YouTube video playback, and also since these are foldables, I will be juggling between the inner and outer displays accordingly. So this HDR video on the phones, let's play it for an hour. Talking about the quality, both phones offer nice and punchy panels, with the Fold 7 taking the crown if you prefer more vibrancy. The Pixel 10 Pro Fold's panel keeps things neutral and toned down for a more natural look. So this comes down to preference, but even brightness wise, anything beyond 2000 nits is great, and both these phones offer plenty brightness prowess that you won't be asking for more. Onto the outer screen, well, the Pixel here has a slightly larger 6.4-inch display, but the Fold 7 offers a more efficient 1 to 120Hz refresh rate, the same as the inner display, unlike Pixel's 60 or 120Hz options. Nonetheless, display tuning on both phones is spot on, and both the inner and outer displays of the Pixel and the Galaxy are tuned well in respect to color calibration, brightness, and so on. The Fold 7 does get the edge here for brighter viewing angles. Its screen is also slightly less reflective, although both phones do not feature anti-glare screens. Okay, the first round is done, and the Pixel 10 Pro Fold has taken the lead with 88% battery left, while the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is left with 87% battery. Okay, now it's time to record an hour of 4K video split between the front and rear cameras, and I'm not going to use the inner camera for this round. So first up, the rear camera, 4K 30fps video for half an hour. Now, while the recording is on, here are the camera specifications of both smartphones. The new Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold features a triple rear camera system comprising a 48 megapixel primary lens, a 10.5 megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a 10.8 megapixel telephoto camera. For selfies, there's a 10 megapixel camera on the outer panel and a 10 megapixel lens on the inner screen. Video recording is capped at 4K 60fps from both the rear and front cameras. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 also features a triple rear camera, but this one has a 200 megapixel primary lens, a 12 megapixel ultra-wide lens, and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens. For selfies, there's one 10 megapixel camera on the cover screen and another 10 megapixel lens on the inner display. For video recording, the rear camera can shoot up to 8K 30fps videos, while the front camera is capped at 4K 60fps recording. Okay, it's time we end the 30-minute 4K video recording from the rear camera. In terms of thermals, while the Pixel 10 Pro Fold hit a peak of 31 degrees Celsius, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 went up to 34 degrees Celsius. With that, let's start the 4K video recording from the front camera for another 30 minutes, and while the recording is on, here are the photo samples shot from both smartphones. Alright, an hour of 4K video recording is done. Once again, a quick check on the thermals, and both devices kept it pretty cool, hitting a peak 32 degrees Celsius. With that, after 3 hours gone, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is still in the lead with 73% battery left, while the Z Fold 7 is right behind with 70% battery. Alrighty, it is time to run some benchmarks now to get an idea when put under heavy load, which phone delivers the better performance and of course better endurance. First up, the specs. The Google Pixel 10 Pro Fold is powered by the Tensor G5 chip paired with 16GB LPDDR5X RAM and 256GB UFS 4.0 storage. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 on the other hand is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip paired with up to 16GB RAM and up to 1TB storage. Starting with Geekbench 6, and while both devices recorded pretty much the same in single core performance, it's in the multi-core where the Z Fold 7 recorded a 63% better output than the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, meaning that in theory the Z Fold 7 should provide a much snappier experience for demanding tasks such as gaming, heavy multitasking and video editing. In Antutu, which measures a phone's overall performance including the CPU, GPU, memory and user experience, the Z Fold 7 annihilated the Pixel 10 Pro Fold with a 119% faster overall score. Its CPU was about 89% faster and the GPU showed an even larger lead at 105% faster than the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. In the 3D Mark Extreme Stress Test, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 once again posted much better best and lowest loop scores along with a clear lead in the overall FPS performance. Interestingly, in the final CPU throttle test, both phones throttled significantly under a heavy sustained load with a stability score of 58% on both devices. Here's a closer look at the benchmark scores after every round. A quick check at the battery stats after the benchmarks round, and the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is still in the lead with 49% battery left, but the Fold 7 is right behind with 48% battery left. Now if the benchmark round is anything to go by, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 clearly has the upper hand in real world performance too, especially with heavy tasks like gaming. Take Asphalt 9 Legends for instance. While the Fold 7 supports 120 FPS, the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is capped at 60 FPS. And sure, a game like Asphalt 9 isn't exactly demanding for flagship phones, but the Fold 7 still felt noticeably smoother. It's the same story with competitive titles like BGMI and Call of Duty Mobile. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 runs both at 120 FPS, whereas the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is limited to 60 FPS for BGMI and 90 FPS for COD. As for heat management, both phones did touch the 40°C mark during benchmarks and gaming tests, but in everyday use, thermals are well under control. Neither gets uncomfortably hot under a heavy load. That said, when it comes to raw power and better sustained performance, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 does pull ahead. There's really no getting around that. Okay, we are done with the gaming round 2, and well, what just happened? The Galaxy Z Fold 7 has pulled ahead with now 30% battery left, while the Pixel 10 Pro Fold is trailing with 25% battery left. With that, we are in the last leg of our battery drain test comparison. I will now run an hour of Instagram on both devices here, but without keeping you waiting until the last minute, I am going to fast forward to the 6-hour mark, and with that, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 finishes with 21% battery left, while the Pixel 10 Pro Fold finishes with 15% battery left. Here's an hour-by-hour breakdown of the battery drain of both smartphones on your screens right now, and as you can see, in the end, despite packing a smaller 4400 mAh battery, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 managed to outperform the Pixel 10 Pro Fold in our battery drain test. Samsung's optimization clearly shines through here, as the Z Fold 7 not only holds up well under regular use but also delivers better sustained performance thanks to the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip. Sure, Samsung did have to compromise a little on battery size to maintain that sleek and lightweight profile, but just imagine the kind of endurance it could have offered with a 5000 mAh cell like the Pixel. As for the Pixel 10 Pro Fold, while the larger 5015 mAh battery does help it last long on paper, the results show that Google still has some fine-tuning to do when it comes to efficiency and thermal management. The Pixel is powerful, no doubt, but when raw performance and power efficiency are both considered, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 takes the win, and that too with a smaller tank. And that's it for this battery drain test comparison. Tell us which one would you pick in the comments below, and as always, for all the latest in tech, stay tuned to Digit. I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching.